Okay, thank you everybody for coming. I believe there's a couple other schools on, and we are here in Mishicot with students. So I'm going to move out of the screen so I'm not quite so close, but thank you, Bill Schlei from WOMT Radio and Tina Priddy from Vagabond Creative. We are in the Arts, AV, and Communication session of Career Expo for January 2022. It's a very fun event and very helpful for our students to learn about businesses in our area, as well as in the career fields that they're interested in potentially entering. So thank you so much for being here, Bill and Tina. Which one of you would like to start us off today?
Bill, you want me to go?
Go ahead.
All right. Take it away, Tina.
Hi, good morning, everybody. My name is Tina Priddy, and I am co-owner of Vagabond Creative Studio, located in downtown Manitowoc, also co-founder of The Coolest Coast. So at Vagabond Creative Studio, we do web, video, digital, print, and photo. Basically, if it falls under the creative umbrella, it's something that we like to do. As you can see from the logo that's on the screen, we predominantly use the Adobe Creative Cloud to do what we need to do. So there's Premiere Pro for film editing, there's Photoshop for photo editing, all of those things. What's interesting is, I don't know if anybody has ever seen the movie Robots, but one of the robots keeps saying, see a need, fill a need, see a need, fill a need. So that's what we did when we created Vagabond Creative Studio. At the time, there was no other production house located within Manitowoc County that was doing what we do. So I love what we do. It gets me going every day. It's super exciting to me. We are a small creative house. We're a team of 2, and then we do have some part-time employees. So it's myself and my husband. Our skills complement each other, and what's so exciting is not only are we producing what we produce, whether it's a catalog or a brochure or a video or a website, that's very computer heavy. So we have to be computer savvy. We have to know about file sharing, storing, all of that stuff. But what we do also gets us out in the field. So no 2 days are the same. Let's see. Basically, I think of ourselves as storytellers. When our clients come to us, they're either an organization, a business, an individual, they have some story that they're trying to tell. And that's where it comes to us, is to help draw out that story and to make them look good, whether it's creating a testimonial video, a client video, promotional materials. We do it all. It seems like no 2 days are ever the same. I feel like just when we've nailed something, then the next request is completely different, but that's also what keeps it so exciting. So our commitment in everything that we do is to make our clients look good, right? Whether that's being on the camera, people are very nervous when they're on the camera, and our commitment to them is that on the back end, when we edit it, we will always make them look good. And so you can see, just even from this little collage of images, we're not always doing things in the studio. So there's some studio work, but there's a lot of in the field work. And that really gets me going, because we have learned so much. We have met so many different people doing what we do, and learning their stories and then helping them share their stories is super rewarding. So this is an example of us, getting the shot. You can see that in order to tell their stories, puts us in so many different places throughout Manitowoc County and beyond. One of the reasons that we call ourselves Vagabond is because we can do what we do from pretty much anywhere, as long as we have Wi-Fi signal, access to a phone. Like an iPhone, this little device is so powerful, we're even able to edit videos on the go. And oh, the places you'll go. You can see doing our work gets you into so many different facilities, in front of so many different clients, so many different experiences. part of doing what we do, I think, is you have to be brave. You have to be willing to put that hard hat on and the safety equipment to go into a manufacturing facility. Or like in the upper left corner, you can see I was piloting a boat. I had to take plenty of Dramamine not to get seasick, but you do what you need to do to get the shot. And then it's also important, a lot of the times we're behind the camera, right? We're behind the scenes, behind the computer, doing what we do. But it's also important, like today, to put yourself out there in front of the camera, to share your story, to, share the good news about what you're doing, to help lift up the whole community in general. And that's one of the reasons why we created the Coolest Coast. Doing what we do, we meet clients all over the place, different states, even different countries. And when we'd say, oh, we're from Manitowoc, we discovered that Netflix was driving the conversation in the greater world about Manitowoc. We'd say, hi, I'm Tina from Vagabond Creative Studio. We're in Manitowoc. And they'd say, oh, Manitowoc, is he guilty? Did he do it? And we're like, oh my gosh, okay. What skills do we have? We know how to do video, all of this promotion, all of this marketing. We need to help shift the conversation. We need to have a positive conversation about this amazing place that we live. Because one of the things that's important is where you choose to live and work and play. That's the community that you need to commit to and to contribute to raising up. Let's see here. So for creating the Coolest Coast, it's something that we're passionate about, sharing the story of our area. It's really cool because the HTR recognized us as People of the Year in 2019. We do believe in making a difference. So all of the work that we do, we also believe that you need to give back to your community. This is just an example of us ringing the bells for the Salvation Army. There are so many ways that you can give back, but we really believe that rising tide raises all ships. Okay, so most importantly, so that was, who we are and what we do. The sky is the limit in marketing and promotions, in video creation, in photography, in web. The industry is only moving more and more down that path. The most important advice I think I can give to you is to do what you believe in. If you believe it, I don't have any kind of a degree in videography, in creative design. I went to school, and when I was in your position, I had no idea what I wanted to be. So if you already know your path, that's totally cool. You're very lucky. If you don't, that is okay. I have a degree in international relations with a minor in Japanese. After I graduated, I taught English in Japan for 3 years. I spent a year backpacking around the subcontinent. Then I spent a decade as a civil servant. Then I spent half a decade in the private sector working for a corporation. All great experiences. Everything that I learned during that time influences who I am and what I do today. And what I discovered is through all of those experiences, I always gravitated towards the creative. I was always passionate about the creating something and the telling the story. And that's how I knew when it was time that this is what I wanted to do, that it was time to take the plunge. And it's hard though. You have to face your fear. There are going to be so many factors in life saying, oh, are you sure you want to do that? Shouldn't you take the safe route? Don't you want something that has, I don't know, longevity? When I was a public servant and I was young at the time, people would say, oh, you're so lucky. You'll be able to retire from that job with a full pension. And I was like, I can't think about retirement at this age. It really kind of freaked me out. So face your fear. If it's something you're passionate about, if you believe in it, if it's what makes you tick, follow your dreams. And it is okay to change, right? Like the path I started down is not the path that I'm on today. But again, all of those experiences inform who I am today. And I think Bill's going to tell you the same thing, that who you decide to be today doesn't have to be who you are your whole life. You can change as many times as you want. Most importantly, whatever you're doing, have fun. If you're having fun, it's those day-to-day memories that are going to make up your whole life of experiences, especially in the creative field. The more fun you have, the better you'll be able to make your clients look. And always be learning. Everything that you learn influences who you are and improves what you can offer. And like, for example, you are so lucky to be coming up in this day and age with YouTube University. Everything that's out there is invaluable, the resources that you have available to you. Once you do know stuff, share the knowledge. Don't keep it to yourself. Share the knowledge, become a thought leader in what you do. And be bold. Also, create with love. We try to, every story that we tell, we want to draw out the positive. We do our work, with love, with attention to detail, again, with that commitment to making our clients look good. And I think that we haven't gone wrong that way. And again, follow your dreams. And just because you set sail on a path now, you can always shift course, and everything that you learn will always still be beneficial. Most importantly, wishing you good fortune.
Thank you so much, Tina. Do we have any questions for Tina right off the bat? Have any here? And I am not seeing any in the chat. So Bill, we will turn it over to you.
Thank you. So I get to follow Tina, huh? Yikes. Okay. My name is Bill Schlei. I'm a Manitowoc native, graduated from Lincoln High School. And well, back when I graduated from Lincoln High School, I did what most young people did when they graduated from high school in Manitowoc. I got out of town because I didn't feel there was anything here for me. And well, I'm back. I've been all over the country. I've seen a lot of places. And if Tina's still out there, I just want to say this. Like I said, I have literally worked all over the country. Name a state, pretty much been there. Austin, Texas, I spent a lot of time there. Shreveport, Louisiana, Chicago, Illinois was my last stop before coming back to Manitowoc. And I frequently hear people around Manitowoc say that, these coolest coast people, it's really impressive what they do for a little town like Manitowoc. They're really good. Let me tell you something, guys. Vagabond Creative, it does fantastic work. I have not seen I've been a lot of places. They do tremendous work. And if that's your thing, if you're into that kind of work, they set a high bar for you. I just wanted to get that out there. You're very welcome.
Thank you.
They do a wonderful job. Okay. I had a really, really super PowerPoint program. And of course, my system crashed this morning, so I don't have it. So you just got me. So I'll just go down the list here. I've been doing this on and off for about 35 years. And well, they gave me a list of things I'm supposed to talk about, like responsibilities within my job. Well, I've been accused since way back when my guidance counselors used to say I was irresponsible. So I guess it was because of the level of creativity that I kind of carried around. I was a chemistry major in college. And when I got out of college, I realized chemistry is really boring. And I didn't, some people are really into that. I just wasn't. So I immediately started to go into things like working nights in radio stations or on weekends. And I fell in love with it. And if you have a passion for something, like Tina said, follow your passion. No matter what anybody tells you, follow your passion. If you're not passionate about what you're doing for a living, as a job, whatever you want to call it, if you don't have that, find it, and find it soon. My responsibilities in my job, my number one responsibility is creativity. I can't, sales is what I'm classified as. But if I don't have a creative bent in my presentation, when I talk to new clients or old clients or whatever, if I don't have that creative bent, they're not going to go with me because they're looking for someone to direct their marketing, direct their advertising. And that's what this business that I'm involved in is all about. It says here, what's your schedule like in a typical day? It's one of the things I love about what I've been doing all these years all over the country. There is no typical day. There is no typical day. Every day is different. I learn something new every day. And I'm 64 years old. I know I don't look it. Thank you very much. But I just enjoy that aspect of my job. I wish I could take this whole time to tell you what I've learned in the last 5 days alone. But I can't because they told me not to. So how long have I been in the industry? It says here, well, I've already mentioned on and off for 35 years. I've stepped away from marketing and advertising a few times. I've worked in television. I don't know if anybody's heard of Let Me Be Frank Productions. They do these plays down at the Capitol and things like that. Frank Hermans, who owns Let Me Be Frank, and I work together in television in Green Bay. I've worked in the advertising agency business, which, wow, it took me a month of showers to get that off of me. I really didn't care for that very much, but it was an education. Again, I learned, if that's another thing I'd like to bring up. If you're doing something in life that you don't care about, but you have to do it to make money for a while, learn from it. If you don't get your shot at your dream right away, keep working toward that dream, but learn from wherever you're at. Because I've done some jobs over the years, like the agency job that I really didn't care for, but I learned a ton from working with those people. They had their own video equipment. So I learned a lot about operating video equipment. I've forgotten most of it now, but it was fun. It was a learning experience in that regard. Is your job indoor or outdoor? It says here. One of the great things, thank God today it's going to be all indoor. I'm not going anywhere. It's cold. But on a typical day, I could be indoor or outdoor. And it's really wonderful in that regard. I get to travel all over the area, see a variety of different people. I get to work with super interesting people like the Priddys here, who have a show with us here at WMT. And it's really, again, it's the experience. It's my passion to be in this field, and I'm glad I'm here. Are there any dangers in my field of work? I always tell people the number one danger in any field of work is letting your work define you. Do not let your work define you. When I say that, it's difficult to describe. But if you let your work define you and become absorbed by your work rather than embracing your work, if you become embraced by your work, bad things will happen. I will tell you. I won't go into it in detail, but bad things will happen if you let your work absorb you rather than embracing what you do. So that's another thing I can warn you about from experience, but that's the only danger in my field. I mean, other than, maybe tripping on a high spot in the carpeting here in the building or something like that. Let's see. Is it a desk job or does it include hands-on of any specific equipment? Oh my goodness. Most of the radio stations that I've worked at over the years, if you worked in the sales department, you never went near a studio. Again, one of the things I love about being back here in Manitowoc, I came back here about 5 years ago, by the way, and I was fortunate enough to run into a guy named Mark Seehafer, and his family owns and operates all the radio stations here. This is a very hands-on place. I voice a lot of commercials here. Never did much of that in my life. I have to operate soundboards because I'll have customers come in who record their own commercials. And so at that point, I have to step up and become a quasi-engineer and record audio and do that kind of thing. So again, I had to learn all these things in the last few years. The learning experience has been tremendous. I've gotten to work with all kinds of equipment. And now we have a woman right across the hall from me who just waved at me, named Erica, who is, I don't know if you've met her, Tina, but she's doing a lot of video work for us. She's doing audio work for us. In the last 3 years, there's been a great metamorphosis. There we go. In our business, where it's not just audio anymore. We do podcasts with video. We're doing podcasts with audio. And we're getting more and more involved with other aspects of communication. And it's a very exciting time to be in our business. Digital broadcasting has become huge. So there are a lot of changes. There's a lot of growth, and I'm proud to be part of it. Says, what do you like about your job? Teamwork is what I really like about this job. There's a great group of people here. We have people that have worked here for over 40 years who, again, I have learned a ton from. And we have people that have worked here for 6 months who have come from other areas. I've learned a lot from them. It's never the same thing twice, and I learn something new every day. Let's see. I don't know where I'm at time-wise, but Oh gosh. Let's see. Oh, in your job, do you work alone or with a team? I already talked about teamwork. Let's see. Well, I guess I could probably close out here just by saying, and I can't stress this enough. We talked about this before we went on board with you folks this morning, and that is find your passion. Simple as that. I could sit here all day long and tell you how great I feel about what I do. And Tina did a wonderful job of presenting what they do, and it's really exciting stuff. But it might not be exciting to you, and what I do might not be exciting to you. Find what excites your passion. Find out what that is and pursue it. You might not get there right away. It might not be your job right out of high school or right out of college or right out of secondary education of some kind beyond high school or whatever you decide to do. You might not get there right away, but don't stop trying. Find your passion and pursue it. And I'm going to close with a line by my favorite poet, Maya Angelou, who if you don't like poetry, read Maya Angelou. You'll like her poetry. She had a line in one of her poems, and it's "Be the rainbow in someone else's cloud." So, with that, I thank you very much for listening.
Any questions from my group here? I don't see any in the chat. I am wondering, Bill or Tina, as our students make their way through high school, is there anything that you recommend that they do or be involved in, clubs or community organizations? And then also high school coursework. Are there any courses that you recommend students take?
It's interesting about the courses because what you learn now, by the time that you're ready to, start your job, that job might not even exist right now. So like Bill was saying, follow your passion, take the courses that are meaningful to you. So for example, if you're taking a film editing course, that's awesome. No matter what you end up doing, wherever you land, whether you yourself are a film editor or whether the company you work for has to, have films made, then you will understand that process. Let's say you become the manager of something and you need to understand how films are made. You'll know how to hire the house that you want to make those films. You'll be informed already rather than them just saying, oh, this is the mysterious process. You'll know it's not as mysterious, right? Because you'll have that background information. So take what you're interested in, take as many classes as you can. When I was in high school, I thought I'm going to be an accountant. And then I took 2 accounting classes and I was like, oh no, this is definitely not for me. And so I was really thankful that I took those courses then and didn't pursue a career in that. If I hadn't have had that experience, I could have really gone down the wrong path. But again, that information is really important to know as a small business owner, right? To have those terms and that information. So knowledge, you can never go wrong with knowledge, no matter what you learn. Like Bill was saying too, even if you don't love a job that you're doing, figure out what you can learn from it. Maybe it's some language in the industry. Maybe it's simply learning what not to do that informs you as you go forward. You can never go wrong with the more knowledge that you have.
Well, I'm the last person to ask about what courses to take in high school because in high school, I took every course that I had to and nothing that I didn't have to. I was terrible. But I would recommend if you think you're passionate about an industry or passionate about a profession or a career, go talk to people in those careers. When I was in high school, in my junior year, I really thought that I wanted to be an attorney. Okay. And my mother heard me mention this one day. And it turned out that my parents had a brilliant man who was their attorney. In fact, he just passed away a few days ago. His name was William Jagier. And they sent me to Mr. Jagier and said, you should go talk to him and find out about being an attorney. And we had a 2.5-hour conversation, free of charge. He did not charge me for it. And in that 2.5 hours, I learned a lot about what an attorney does. And what I learned was I did not want to be an attorney because I really didn't know. So before you know what you're going to do, know what you're going to do. Talk to someone in the industry, talk to someone who really knows about it, and find out from them. I mean, I could sit here all day and say, oh, you should take this course or that course. I loved psychology in high school, by the way. I had a teacher named Robert Feller. That name might be familiar to some of you if you know tennis, but Bob Feller was a brilliant teacher, is a brilliant teacher, and I loved his psychology course. That can carry you anywhere. You can use psychology in any industry, believe me. But other than that, like I said, if you think you know where you want to go or what you want to do, find out for certain. Find out for absolute certain.
And as far as extracurriculars too, again, pursue what you're passionate in. So when I was in high school and for most of my young adult life, I loved theater. If there was a show, I was auditioning for it. I wanted to be in it. I was the president of maskers for a while. I know that my family kind of thought, what are you doing? Like theater is just play. But I now see that that was such important experience. Being comfortable on stage, being able to put myself into another character's shoes and have that empathy for, different characters, being comfortable in front of a crowd, that has all benefited who I am today. And even just my ability to be here on this live chat with you, right? All of that experience, even though somebody couldn't necessarily identify why it was important at the time, the fact that I was passionate about it, it really has benefited me as an adult and throughout my whole life. So do what you believe in.
So we do have a question coming in from Lincoln High School. We have about 3.5 minutes left, but they're wondering the favorite moment in your career.
Wow. Favorite moment in my career. I would guess that's when I was working in Chicago and I got a call. I was working for 860 radio, which is a talk station in Chicago, doing sales. And I got a call saying, hey, we need to go have somebody go out and essentially just assist one of our people doing an interview. And I said, okay, sure. Who's the interview with? That's a guy he's going to run for Senate. All right. So I went out and met this guy and said, okay, we're going to do this. You got to stand this far from the microphone, et cetera, et cetera. I'm giving him the whole rundown. And when he started speaking, I was absolutely riveted. I thought, wow, is this guy smart? He's incredibly smart. And I talked to him afterward and found out that he went to Columbia Law and he went to Harvard and he was head of the Harvard Law Review. Long story short, it was Barack Obama. So that would be the highlight of my career in radio.
Bill, that's my highlight too.
Over everything. That would be it. And I don't care if you're a Republican or a Democrat. It was awesome. So
yeah, Bill, that's so funny, Bill, that's your highlight, because my highlight was getting a White House press pass when President Barack Obama visited Manitowoc, and then getting to shake his hand and take pictures as he toured the Orion facility. It was amazing. And like you said, it doesn't matter the politics. I mean, just getting to meet somebody at that level, the President of the United States of America, it's mind-blowing.
From the little town of Manitowoc, meeting the president, and the same one at that. So thank you very much to both Bill and Tina for being here today. I'll put it out to about 2 minutes. I'm not sure if anybody has any questions out there. My group, I know my group has a reflection to write, so I'm looking at them to make sure that they have all the notes and things that they need to put their essay together. It looks like we are all set. So thank you so much, everybody, for participating. And maybe we will see you in future career expos. Have a great day.
Sarah? Hello? Sarah?
Yes?
Hello? Can I jump in with one last thing? If anybody out there thinks of anything that they want to ask me, I don't know why, but if you have any questions, I've got a really easy email address. Bill, my name, BILL, at WOMTradio.com. So if you have any questions that come up afterwards, shoot me an email. Thanks again for listening.
Great, thank you. Have a good day, everyone.